Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're in the trenches right now running or scaling a multi-location business, you are exactly where you need to be today. We are tackling a massive, massive blind spot that's probably quietly eating away at your marketing budget as we speak. And honestly, the worst part? Most operators have absolutely no idea it's even happening. So today we're looking at a solution called the Marketing Clarity Accelerator. It's a really brilliant, structured approach to finally fixing that frustrating disconnect between what you spend on marketing and the actual, bankable revenue that comes out the other side. Okay, let's dive straight into this. I absolutely love this quote from our source material. Most businesses don't have a marketing problem. They have a visibility problem. I mean, it hits the nail right on the head. If you're a founder running multiple locations, juggling Facebook, Google, email blasts, local promos, maybe even managing a couple of different agencies, you know this pain intimately. You're running all these channels, you're spending the budget, but when push comes to shove, you literally cannot see which specific activity is actually driving your revenue. It's incredibly frustrating, right? It feels a bit like flying blind.
So, to cut through all that noise and get you to sheer operational clarity, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to start with the visibility gap, uncover the real software barrier, talk about how to bridge that gap, and then walk through the 30-day framework, the investment and outcomes, and finally, wrap up with the Maralytics advantage.
All right, Section 1, the visibility gap. Let's talk about what teams are totally missing.
You know, running marketing across multiple channels really creates this sort of illusion of performance. You feel like you're doing a lot, but look at the stark contrast here. On the left, we've got what teams can easily see: clicks, impressions, website traffic, engagement. Basically, classic vanity metrics. They look amazing in a monthly PowerPoint presentation, sure. But on the right, that's what teams cannot see: the actual revenue contribution per channel, the performance differences between locations, and the quiet budget leakage. If you're only looking at that first set of data, you're guessing. You might be pouring thousands into a campaign that gets a ton of likes, but zero actual paying customers. And that leads to serious budget leakage and makes you really hesitate when it's time to scale.
Which brings us to Section 2, the real software barrier.
So when leaders face this visibility gap, their first instinct is usually, well, let's just go buy a massive, expensive analytics platform. That'll fix it. But actually, scratch that. The real barrier isn't the software at all. It's team readiness. We can break this down into 3 major gaps. First, structural. You've got no consistent naming or tracking set up across your campaigns or locations. Second, attribution. Your team simply cannot connect campaign activity directly to revenue. And third, confidence. Leadership just doesn't trust the data enough to actually make decisions with it. If you drop a powerful software tool onto a messy structural foundation, you don't magically get clarity. You just get automated messes delivered at the speed of light.
Moving right along to Section 3, bridging the gap.
So how do we actually fix this foundation before bringing in the heavy machinery? Well, that is exactly where the Marketing Clarity Accelerator comes in. It's this absolutely crucial 30-day bridge to get your team structured. And as you'll see here, this bridge is highly targeted. Multi-location hospitality groups and franchise networks, they get the highest fit rating. Because let's face it, tracking marketing across multiple physical venues is a colossal headache. Marketing agencies and professional services score really high too. These ideal prospects, they already want better data. They know they need it. They just need structured, hands-on help getting their team and their systems totally ready to use it.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next point, Section 4, the 30-day framework. Okay, this is the chronological 4-week process that builds compounding clarity. We start fast. Week 1 is the marketing audit, getting a raw, honest map of what's active, what's working, and what's completely invisible. Week 2, the campaign tracking structure setup. This is where the magic happens, setting up the naming logic so marketing actually becomes measurable. Week 3 is the ROI measurement framework, finally linking that campaign activity straight to actual revenue. And then Week 4 wraps the whole shebang up with an executive clarity report. Every single week builds tremendous momentum, turning raw, messy data into pure clarity. And by the end of those 30 days, these are the core outcomes. You're going to know exactly which channels generate cash, you'll know exactly which campaigns to hit the gas on and which to kill immediately. You're going to expose exactly where your budget is leaking out the back door. You can finally compare apples to apples how location A performs against location B with the exact same spend. Plus, you get a 90-day optimization roadmap. That is true executive-level decision clarity, all handed to you in just 1 month.
All right, Section 5, investment and outcomes. Let's look at how this is structured.
So what does it take to make this happen? The pricing is carefully designed across 3 tiers to match your specific scale. Option A is the $1,500 starter tier, perfect for building a baseline tracking foundation for growing SMBs. Option B, right there in the middle at $2,500, is really the recommended sweet spot. It gives you the full ROI framework and clear direction for scaling. And then for our core audience, the franchise and multi-venue folks, Option C at $4,500 is the absolute powerhouse. It tackles cross-location setups, it gives multi-location networks the ultimate confidence to allocate budgets across different venues, and paves a seamless path to adopting an enterprise platform later on.
Finally, Section 6, the Maralytics Advantage.
Because look, this accelerator isn't just some one-off consulting gig, it's an entry pathway. This progression right here on the screen, this is the entire philosophy. You literally cannot jump straight to automation. It doesn't work. You have to gain clarity first. Clarity allows you to build structure. That structure gives your leadership confidence. And then, once you trust your data, you are ready for automation. The accelerator gets you ready, so adopting a platform like Maralytics becomes the most logical, natural next step to optimize your spend and ditch the manual reporting forever.
And what really sets this program apart is the authority behind it. We're talking authentic, in-the-trenches restaurant ownership experience combined with high-level enterprise reporting thinking. It brings proven training delivery, the direct authority of the Maralytics founder, and deep multi-location expertise. This isn't just academic theory from someone who's only ever run ads for a single coffee shop. No, this is battle-tested, highly credible, and built specifically for the incredibly complex reality of running multiple venues.
So, I really want to leave you with this final question today. Seriously, take a second to think about this. What would it mean for your business, your stress levels, and your bottom line if you could see in exactly 30 days which specific campaigns are driving real revenue and which ones are just quietly wasting your hard-earned cash? The visibility gap is real, but it doesn't have to be permanent. With the right structure, you can finally turn the lights on. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this sparks some serious curiosity about how you're structuring your own marketing data.